Hi everybody, welcome to today's webinar. I'll just wait till people start joining in on the group. Great, so I can see some people have already joined the webinar today. So today's webinar is about going from $599 from a product to over $972,000 in just under 10 months. And what I want to do is spend time to really explain about learning to create a world-class listing and scale your business like a pro. And before we get on with the webinar today, we're going for a couple of hours. It would be great to find a bit about the attendees, your background. So if you want to go to the chat and just type in where you're from, like what country you're from, that'd be great to see where you guys are based, and we can help tailor the webinar for that. So just put that in the chat for the interaction. We'll just put which country you're from. Like myself, I've been lived in the US, lived in England, lived in Australia. It'd be great to also understand what marketplaces people have been also on. Great, so I can see JR's from the US. Anyone else when you come on? We'll just find out where people are attending. Great, Michigan, UK, great. And also be interesting to find out what marketplaces you guys are selling in as well. Germany, great, Kat, great to see you from Germany. So yeah, and put also just in the chat the marketplaces you're selling. So if you're selling multiple ones, put US, Canada, UK, Singapore. It'd be really great to see what marketplaces you guys are also selling. One great thing about Amazon, you guys know you can be anywhere in the world and selling different marketplaces. I lived in the US, sold in the UK, lived in Australia, sold in different marketplaces all around the world. Great. So yeah, so feel free to put that in the chat. So please put that through. And right, just UK. Right. So that's great to hear. And it'll be also interesting to see, guys, just when was the last time you took a holiday? Or actually where your last holiday was too. I know some people get into Amazon to get that extra income, change their life cycle. Some people it's a great way to grow their existing business. But it'd be interesting to see when people took their last holiday, or if you're planning your next holiday, just to get a sense for the market. Great, we've got people from Mexico. Fantastic. US, yeah, it looks like a lot of people on the call from the US. And also just put in, I'd be interested to know, just before we kick off, if you're from, if you're already selling on Amazon, so put seller, or if you're about to sell on Amazon, put starting. So just put that in the chat as well. It'd be great to see what people's position is in the market. If they're already existing on Amazon, put seller, and if you're about to start or want to start, put start on there. Great. We'll probably kick off in about 1 more minute. We're just waiting for a few more people to log in, and then we can get on the call. Great. US, Mexico. It's great. I wonder if there's anyone here from Canada. We'll have a look and see. Great. Seller. Right, and that's what's so fantastic, Dave. For this webinar, I'm going to go through, and we'll kick off in just a sec. But we'll kick off from people who haven't sold on Amazon, heading to Morocco and Portugal. Oh, fantastic! Sounds like a lovely trip. Yeah, holidays has been a big reason we've been we made the transition to Amazon and got into it. But this webinar, which is about to kick off, is tailored for you. Even if you haven't started selling on Amazon, you'll get so much out of it. If you're a seller, fantastic, and even if you're an existing seller, maybe doing 1 million a year or even 8 figures, 10 million a year, we'll show you strategies. And so 72,000. unlocking explosive growth in 10 months. The reason I can talk on this is we did that with one specific brand. I want to go through you what we did, how we got there, and what you need to be to create a world-class listing and scale your business like a pro. And one thing about Amazon, it's with all businesses, you have to do things world class. And that's what I want to show you today. Cobblers get a lot of the business. And I want to show you exactly how to. So if this is a recent presentation we did at the Pacific Trade event. Also wanted to move on to Amazon. They had existing strong businesses. They wanted to get to the next level and use Amazon as events. So I've done a lot of presentations over the years, and this was one of the most enjoyable ones. Some recent Amazon events. So one of the ones went to a recent Amazon invitation event. That's the picture in the middle. The one on the left, it looks a bit casual. We actually did an interview with one of the papers about how to export and go to global markets. So people who in emerging markets, how do they get onto the US? How do they scale on Canada? How do they get into England? And one of the great things was on that trip, we actually met the Commerce Minister. So it's quite a casual. This was at the cocktail party. You can see the casual dress code. But there were a couple of events that we've been to and really enjoyed it. And I was helping the minister in terms of helping with brand growth. And a bit about me. So as you said, my name's Peter. We run Atomic AMZ, and we're a co-partner with AMZ Scout. Husband and dad to 3 kids. So you can look at the one on the left. You can probably tell it's a bit of an older picture. But the reason I put these other pictures in here is Amazon's really allowed us to have an amazing lifestyle. Whether you're a new seller, established seller, it's one business that can really make a difference. Just this year, 2024, so we're just in 2025 now, we did Hawaii twice, did a trip to Canada, a trip to Bali, also went to Tokyo, and we actually went to Waikiki twice and went to LA. So we did surf lessons with a family in Waikiki, which is fantastic. And then this is, I think this is Tokyo Disney, maybe. Disney, I'm not sure if we went to Tokyo Disney and LA Disney. So that's why I talked about holidays. One thing about Amazon is it really does allow you that lifestyle balance. Once you get the track record and success, it's something that you really want to appreciate with the family. And I'll put that in here. It's a really important part of running an Amazon business is you do work hard, you put in the efforts, but some of this stuff is fantastic. And that's why I put it in here, just to show some of the experiences we've had just in the last 12 months. We did 3 different trips all around the world with the kids. And that's what you can do with Amazon. So a bit about myself. My name's Peter Nobbs. I started from zero on Amazon. To give you the background story, in 2013, I moved to New York with my girlfriend at the time, who quickly became fiance and then pregnant within a very short period of time. And I had a business that my friends just call a business in a box. It was literally, I had one product that would take stickers off cars. And I had a job in New York City, and I really want to get in e-commerce. And I used to get maybe 1 sale or 2 sale a day through PayPal. And I would message my wife and say, look, Shreen, can you go to the local post office and drop this product at the post office? That was fine until winter came. Shreen was pregnant, it was cold, and she no longer wanted to go to the post office in the cold. And she said, you have to find a new solution. That's where I found Amazon FBA. Found it within a week, shipped in the products, and soon that business that started under the bed turned into a multi-7-figure brand. And what I did is I made a commitment to learn about Amazon. Back then in 2013, there wasn't all these resources that you have now. There weren't great tools like AMZ Scout has. It was literally scraping together whatever information you could find. And I spent the last 15 years trial and error to discover the secrets I'm going to give you today. I'm going to lay out the 5 foundation steps today about what you can do. And even though you can have a great lifestyle on that, I remember back in the days when we first started selling, and if I got 2 orders a day, that would be fantastic for me. This was going back 2013. For me, 2 orders was a great win. It doesn't sound like much today, but 2 was fantastic. And then fast forward, I remember one morning we had a record morning when school went back in the US after the summer holidays, and we did $52,361 in 4 hours. And that was a fantastic experience. So guys, just put a yes in the chat if this is making sense. I just want to see if it's all going through for you guys. Love to have the interaction, put through the questions, but I just want to give you a background of myself. I just started as someone with no experience on Amazon and eventually be able to take 3 different brands to 7 figures. So who's this for today? So anyone new who's to Amazon, who's eager to start a side business, earn extra income and build a valuable asset, that's why I gave you that story before. For me, I was working a corporate job, selling 1 or 2 units a day, and this is what I wanted to do. Fast forward 12 years, and we actually had a successful exit, 3 brands doing over 7 figures each, really great outcomes. So you can start as a side hustle and see where it grows. Or you may have no Amazon selling experience, but you want to leave your job. And that's where I was 10 years ago. And it's definitely possible. I'm an example of this. And I'll talk later about what the pinnacle of selling Amazon was. We actually sold our business in 2021. We sold it for a multi-7-figure exit. It's on NDA, so I can't say the amount, but it was definitely in the enough to change the lifestyle. That's how we get to do so many holidays. And it was over a short period of time. Also, it's for people who are selling on Amazon. That's why I was asking at the start before about people who are already selling on Amazon. I wanted to find out what your experiences were, which marketplaces you're selling on Amazon, and to share the trial and errors and mistakes I've had. You often hear people talk and they talk about, great, we did $52,000 in 4 hours, but we've made a lot of mistakes as well. That's why I want to share it with you. I've made easily over $100,000 in mistakes, and that's why I want to share this stuff with you to make sure you avoid that. I remember an experience. I did a yoga class, went with my wife. I actually set up some coupons wrong beforehand. I was about to go in the class, looked at my phone. Whoa, the sales are coming fast. Before the class, whoa, the sales are coming fast. I actually got a bit nervous, and during the class, I left and I realized I put a coupon the wrong way, and we lost about $14,000 in now. The reason I share that with you is to make sure you have processes, which I go through in this webinar, to avoid that. So all those costly mistakes I've made, I can share with you so you don't make them, and you find out the best strategies that work on Amazon. And we're going to go through that today. Also, if you're generating between 1 or 10 million or more, and you just want to take it to the next level, you want to scale that business, I've got a whole bunch of ideas, strategies, processes that we use to make your business scale great. So guys, let me know what group you're in here. Put 1 if you're, let me just go back. If you're a new Amazon seller, put a 1. No Amazon selling, put a 2 in the chat. 3, you're selling on Amazon, but you want to grow more. Or 4, if you're happy to share, you're doing between 1 and 10 million a year or over. Just get the feedback from you guys. If you're happy to share, fantastic. I do like the engagement to know the audience, so I can tailor the slide as we go to work out the differences that we can do through there. So guys, put that in the chat. If you're a 1, new to Amazon. 2, no selling experience. 3, you start on Amazon, you're selling. Or a 4, you're already doing 1 to 10 million and you just want to take it to the next level. Great. So thanks for putting the comments in the chat. Great. Hugo, thank you. Camilla, great. Yeah, so Camilla, hopefully I can share you some great trial and error strategies, but also ones that really work for us. And if you're new seller, I hope you can take away from some of the lessons that we've taken that it's possible to go from nothing to a multi-7-figure business on Amazon. And maybe your goal is, and you may have different goals. Some people's goal is to get freedom in terms of the way they spend their time. Some people's goals is to be able to set up their family for life, maybe pass on an asset to future families. And some people is, I want to be able to take holidays 2-3 times a year and still be able to work remotely and do it that way. So everyone's got their own reasons. So guys, thanks for sharing that with you. Now, for today's presentation, the webinar, what's coming? Look, one thing I highly recommend is just stick around to the end. I've got a super bonus I want to share with you guys. And I really want to thank you for spending the time and learning on webinar. Look, our time is one commodity we can't replace. So that's why I appreciate you being on here, but also invest in your own education. When I started with zero, the way I grew was, I remember I used to ride my bike into the office, and it used to be about a 30-minute ride. And every day I'd be listening to content, stuff like AMZ Scout, they bring out. Every day I listen to 30 minutes in, 30 minutes out. So every day I'd be listening to 5 hours. And the one thing I know that works is investing in your education and using great tools. So by going this time, you invest in your own time in a webinar, and I know that definitely works. I've gone through success. My Amazon sales directly correlates to the amount of time I spend learning new systems, learning new strategies. And every year, I personally spend with the business over $50,000 learning strategies, how to grow on Amazon, because you need to do that. And the benefit of this, I can share all those great things with you guys. So guys, if that makes yes, put a Y in the chat if it makes sense, and also just put a Y if you appreciate yourself just for being on the chat as well, for the knowledge you're going to be learning. So what you're going to learn today. So the first thing is how to create a world-class product listing that stands out. One thing I want to get through this webinar today is it must be world-class. Please, out of anything you take away, make sure your listing is world-class. Business is competitive, Amazon is competitive, but it will reward you if you're world-class. You need a listing that stands out, and we're going to go through the exact steps I'm going to show you to do that. The difference between the top 1 or 2 sellers and the bottom 2 is sometimes just a small few tweaks you need to do to make that change. People don't realize how close they are to success. Sometimes it's just joining a webinar like this, seeing 1 or 2 strategies that you implement that makes all the difference. Also going to show you how to build a review strategy that drives trust and conversion. Unlocking the power of keyword research to rank higher and reach your audience. Guys, Amazon is very data driven. I want you guys to make decisions based on data, and I'll show you data points on how to make those decisions. It's crucial that you have processes in line where you're reviewing what works and what doesn't work. Also with PPC, one thing I'd love to know, guys, is how much time you spend a week managing your PPC. Put in, if you don't spend any time a week, like you just let it go on auto, just put no time. If you spend an hour a week, put an hour, 2 hours. I'd love to know how much time you spend on PPC, because people often, I find 99% of people don't know the key metrics for scaling on Amazon for PPC success. So guys, just let me know. If you don't even manage your PPC, just put on auto and maybe check in there once a month, put in no time, spend an hour, put in 1, put in 2. I'd love to know, guys, how much time you spend. So then it helps me with the presentation in terms of how much time we spend on there. Great. I mean, every day, great. You're really on top of it. Be interesting to see how other people spend it. And it's interesting because often people talk about ACOS. Everyone's got their own way. So thanks, Jed, for your input. And lastly, I want to show you about the pro tips for launching and gaining momentum on Amazon. It's super important to know the product lifecycle of your business. One thing it does is it actually breaks down to what phase you are. We're going to talk about that. There's 4 different phases of Amazon. What you need in a launch phase, what to do in the growth phase, what to do in the establish when you're the top seller, and what happens when you're in the decline phase as well. People don't realize that you're always changing. Great, 10 hours a week. Thanks for the contribution. You may be one of the top sellers. I'm not sure that's you're one of the top $1 million, $10 million sellers a week. So that's really great. Thanks, guys, for putting the comments about how much time you spend on the PPC chat. So one thing I want also to take away is that sales on Amazon come down to 2 levers. And guys, I highly recommend you take notes on this. There is a recording of this. I'll check if there's a recording, but I highly recommend you take notes on this. The reason being, when you write things down, you can go back and review them, but it does something with your brain that makes you remember it. And when you come down to sales on Amazon, it sounds simple, but there's 2 things you guys got to know. What's your conversion? What's your traffic? So this whole presentation, when we come back, it all comes back to these points. What's your conversion? What's your traffic? And that can diagnose 99% of your problems. Great. So, and guys, I really want to get a lot of value out of this for you guys today as well. I'm here as a resource to educate you, to share all that time I've spent growing my business, all those countless hours, days, long weekends, growing Amazon business. So I want to get as much value for you guys from this presentation. So we will have a Q&A at the end, and please save up all the questions. I'd love to be able to answer them. So guys, foundation 1, I'm going to go through 5 foundations today. So make sure you got the notepad out, or if you're doing it on the laptop, keep your notes. But the first one is how to create a world-class listing that stands out. This one I really want to remember. If we can take a key takeaway from the call, remember, always think to yourself when you look at your ASIN, is this world-class listing? Does it stand out? Have that forefront of your mind. The reason being, as I show over the page, this is one of the key drivers for your success on Amazon. This is one way we took a brand from launching at $599. Remember the first week they had $599 in sales, and 10 months later, it was $972,000. This was the baseline. This was the foundation. So I'm going to run through this now for you guys. So the success principle 1, you need a world-class image. First of all, rendered images. It's worth spending the money to get a rendered image. The reason I say that, you see people with the iPhones, people take them, they don't look great. There's a few things I want you to take away from this. A, has to be rendered. 4 to 5 take up the main part of the screen. And I'll show you in a couple of slides later about how to split test this against your competition. There's something we talk about in Amazon. It's called stop the scroll, which is your click-through rate. It's so important. If you're in a competitive niche and your main image is the exact same as everyone else, people type the search result, scroll. They scroll past your listing. Some of these most simple concepts are the most effective. Don't confuse complexity with success. One thing I can never understand is how people don't spend time and investing on their main image. The way I count success in this is you split test it until it beats your competition. And I'll show you an example over a couple of slides of how to do that. So world-class main image is an absolute must. So this one here, the one on the left, this was beforehand. So it's just got the bottle before. Just by adding something in here, you can probably, actually, can people notice, just tell us what the, if people can tell the differences. I just want to make sure everyone's just seeing the key differences. So we made two main changes to the product on the right. Sorry, the product on the right has two main changes. Just put in the chat if you can just notice what the two main changes are. Just put in bullet point. I just want to see the feedback if people can notice a difference. And then I'll show in the slide the impact this will have on customer preference. So just in the chat, just put the two main differences we put in. Okay. So what you'll notice here is that, yes, the product packaging. So the reason we did product packaging is it takes up a large amount of the page, also gives the stronger branding, but also if you notice down the bottom here, it actually has a product, the capsules. What we found is actually showing the product inside, it takes away some of that curiosity of the product. So people in here, people often wonder, yep, so I made closer and cleaner pills. Yep, exactly. So you notice even the, so excellent, you really picked them up. There's actually three, but so the pills, yes. What you want to do is always, as much as possible, show the consumer what they're going to get. So, yep, great quality colors. So exactly right, guys. What you want to do is show the consumer what they're going to get. So yes, everyone's probably had tablets before they've bought them, but the mind actually sees it. It takes away some of that question of, oh, I wonder how big the tablet's going to be. What color are they going to be? It takes away some of those questions, and you want to remove all the potential objections. And a lot of these are subconscious before a consumer buys them as well. But also, if you look at the coloring, you picked up right. See, this one here is just not as sharp. You can see in here it's just not as sharp. All those little things add up. I'll show you over the page the difference it makes. So the first thing I want to recommend, stop the scroll. So take a step back. Don't worry about all the sexy SEO settings, the latest viral launch, doing this, Black Hat. Take a step back, and I'll show you exactly what to do next. Take a step back and saying, how can I improve my main listing image? And guys, does anyone, just put in the chat, does anyone know how you can test this? How can you make sure that yours beats the competition? There's a few different ways, and I'll show you an example over the page, but feel free to put in the chat about how can you actually test this against the competition. So an example here, super, super simple. We did an airplane toy and added in the packaging. Super simple test. We did this, so you can do this within Amazon. I just want to see if anyone's got it in the chat yet. You can do this within Amazon through experiments, or you can also do it through tools that allow you to split test against the competition. So this one here, something so simple. If you said to someone here, picture, yep, picture with packaging. Almost 70% of people prefer this product over the one without the packaging. So what I suggest first is you take your own image and then work out how you can improve it to get the highest conversion. So this one here significantly performed better than the top one. That's your first step. Then your second step is take the competition's product, do another survey like this, show your one, and you need to keep doing variations until you beat the competition. To give you an example, we did this with a product that was launched about 18 months ago. The competitor was very successful, and I could not work out why we weren't getting the high click-through rate. So we weren't getting stopping the scroll. I looked at the competitor's product, and they had accessories in the image, which is allowed if it has that. We did that, and we did 12 different versions, and we still couldn't beat it. And what it came down to, we didn't realize, is that the competitor's product was black on the packaging. Our packaging was blue. And when we went and got the feedback, people said black felt more trustworthy than the blue. So that's not for every niche. This was in the science category, industrial science. And just by changing the color of the packaging, so we had to reorder the packaging from black to blue, we were able to beat the competition. Now, that's the extent that I go to. I'm on the extreme in terms of building success on Amazon, but we went through 12 iterations until we beat the competition through click-through. In this one here, even if you did 2 or 3, you're going to get massive difference in terms of your traffic. This will make a huge difference in your traffic. You can go through and improve your traffic by 50%. and you're doing just say 1,000 sessions a month, you can get an extra 50%, an extra 500 sessions, a day, just by improving your main image. That's how powerful it is. So guys, you got to take a step back. How do we become world class? Well, first of all, how do you know your listing is world class? First of all, how do you improve your listing so it's world class? And then against the competition, what do you need to do to beat that? Spend money, make sure it's a world class listing for the main image, and the results will be fantastic. Here's another example. This is a pro tip. Every now and then you'll see pro tip on the side. Before I move on, guys, just put in the box if you split test your main image before. Just put a yes if you've done it before, like split test your main image, and put a no if you haven't, because I just want to see in the audience how many people have gone through and split tested their main image. Just give me a yes if you split test your main image, or a no if you haven't done that before. It really helps me because I can find out in terms of the audience how to cater the presentation and what examples I want to go through. So if you've done split testing before for your main image and you got results, you know what works best, put a yes. And if you haven't, put a no. I'd really love to see the feedback. So as I wait till those come through. Now this is a pro tip here. So this is the same product, 2 different ratios. And there's a couple of little tweaks here you may notice. Great. Okay, so this one here, what I highly recommend is you use a ratio of 4 to 5. The reason is if you pull out, great, thanks guys for the results as well. It really helps me understand. Yeah, so one takeaway from this one, I'd highly suggest do a split test as your first action item. What I recommend with these presentations, take notes, write out all the things you want to do, then choose 1 or 2 that you're going to implement within 24 hours. It's way better just to implement 1 or 2 ideas in the next 24 hours and see the results. So guys, for what I highly recommend from today's presentation, do a split test of your main image. So this one here is also the main image. What you'll notice now is that more and more browsing and purchases are moving to mobile devices. So the difference between these two here, same product, but just put in the chat if you notice the difference between the two. And there's 2 sort of, actually there's probably 3 major differences. Put in the chat if you know what they are. I'll run you through them. The biggest difference is the ratio. If you look at this one on mobile, the one on the left versus the one on the right, the one on the left will take up far much more display on the screen. And that's fantastic. The reason being, then you get more description on your listing as well. Sometimes Amazon's always changed the layout. Sometimes even things like your limited deal price or your coupon can be shown more easily if you got a higher image, because then there's more script, there's more room for text underneath. So what we recommend as well is for the main image, use 4 to 5. So you see they did a couple of things here. They made this little angle here, so it shows a little bit cooler. It shows how it's adjustable. But the main thing is a 4 to 5 ratio. And I'll add these pro tips throughout the presentation. It really helps. All these small things add up. If you can improve 1% every day, by the end of the month, you've made a huge improvement. So pro tip here, make sure your main image is 4 to 5 ratio. So I want to just talk about a couple of things here about the world-class image, about why conversion is so important. So Amazon puts conversion. So Amazon has a whole bunch of different criteria for ranking on Amazon. Conversion is one of the highest ones possible. So what you want is, and I'll go through this over the next slides, how to get high conversion. But what conversion means is high conversion, Amazon gives you a higher page rank, which means more traffic. So when we talked about the 2 levers at the start, there's traffic and conversion. High conversion equals more traffic. The second one is high conversion equals lower cost per click for PPC. Amazon wants to reward you for high converting products. A, because the customer's better because they get what they want. B, Amazon gets the fee and sale for conversion. So they help you get a lower CPC. And conversion also means you're more likely to win the ad auction and get on page 1. One thing about Amazon, we'll talk about this later in the PPC. You can bid for the same keyword as your competitor. If they convert higher, they're going to get a cheaper cost per click and they're more likely to be shown for it. So the next few slides, I'm going to show you about why conversion is so important, examples of it, but I just want to give you some context around that. One thing in the chat, just put down if you actually know what your conversion rate, so your unit session percentage, they call it in Amazon. So conversion rate is if you have 100 visitors and you get 15 sales, 15 divided by 100 is 15%. So just let me know if you guys monitor your conversion rate, and just put in the chat if you're happy to share what your conversion rates is. If you don't know, put don't know. But just put in the chat if you know what your conversion rate is. Also in Amazon, it's also known as unit session percentage. So there's one point I always say, there's no point having the best product if no one visits your landing page. So you have this fantastic product, it's going to change the world. Things are made for the stats 4%. No point having this fantastic product, no one knows about it. That's why you got to stop the click. That's why you want to have that that main image so fantastic to stop the scroll. Okay, success principle 2. So this is all under the foundation still. We're still on point 1, foundation step. You've got to understand your buyer's intent. So buyer intent is what is your customer looking for? What do they want to get out of it? So understanding your buyer's intent, your main image is about traffic. So we spend all that time. The reason we want to spend all that time on the main image. So when people scroll down, they see your image, they click there. Main image is all about traffic. Listing images, so these are images 2 to 8, is all about conversion. Third one, who's your buyer? Who's your ideal customer? So if you think about a product, if you're selling a fitness ball or a Pilates mat, is it mums 35 to 45? Is it a kid's microscope? All those ones are the questions you want to be asking, and you want to put your avatar in the image and have them using the product. So this is very high level principles. Main image is traffic, listing images is conversion. Who's your buyer? Put them in the product, put them in the image using the product. And on your second part is that your bullet points need to be 50% for buyer intent and 50% for keyword rank. So you can see down here, this listing here, really well built out. It's not spammy. They've got the right keywords in here. This one here, this is really going to struggle in keyword rank. The buyer wouldn't even know about this if they're in the product. So this is just an example. Imagery, main one is about traffic, second one about conversion. Bullet points down here, 50% for conversion, 50% for keyword rank. Okay, so these are the rules to live by, and I'm going to give you examples over page. Main image has to be world-class, get rendering if possible. Secondary images, you've got to use real people, not photoshopped or those ones that you see stretched out. And conversion is king. Build your listing for who your avatar is. Your avatar is your ideal client. You must know who is your ideal client, who's the person that most often buys your product. Build your listing around them. The reason being, if you know their pains, their weaknesses, what they want out of life, what problems they have, you build your listing around them, converts high. We talked about conversion being the king on Amazon. That's why we build it around here. So I'll give you some examples now around this. Okay, main image. These two products are almost identical in the offering. This one is just a product alone. This one here, it shows you get a phone adapter, a user guide, 2 different microscope lenses, microscope slide case, lens here, lens here. This one just has a product alone. If you're looking at this one here, you're much more likely to go to the one on the left because it looks like so much more value being given. Secondary, you must use real people in your imagery. This is a massage gun. So they're targeting, okay, so there's a guy working out using the weights. The product actually being used, this is not a product taken and then they've tried to Photoshop it on someone. And who's your ideal avatar? How's the product used? So you want to use people. This is when I talk about secondary image about conversion. Who's your ideal avatar? Get them using the product. And then if you compare that to some other ones, this is a real product being used. This is one of those ones I talk about photoshopped. Please do me a favor. Never have product images like this. There's a swimming pool and someone's taken a picture of a family and put them on top. The reason I say that is you just lose all your credibility. You have these type of images on your listing, you lose all your credibility. And you'll notice that in terms of your conversion rates. There's a lot of factors that affect conversion rate, but just say someone does click on your listing and then this is the second one they see. If they think, if you can't spend money getting really great imagery, then how do I even know your product's going to be world-class? Generally, if someone hasn't spent time to get great imagery, they probably haven't spent time to make sure their product's fantastic. So guys, just put in the chat, if you're selling on Amazon or you're about to sell Amazon, or you sell online, do you use who your ideal avatar is in your product listings? Just put a yes or a no. So a yes if you actually have photos like this of someone using the product, and put a no if you don't have any avatar. So you don't have anyone actually using your product. You just got different images of your product and maybe some text over it. Just put a yes if you use people using it, and put a no if you don't have people in your imagery. I just like to get a feedback of the group. Okay, so conversion. Build your listing around your avatar. Remember I talked about who's the most likely to buy your product? In this case, we're looking at microscopes. So this product here, microscope for teenagers. See, they've got a teenager using the product. If a teenager comes in or a parent who's going to probably buy this product, they look at it, they say, oh, okay, yep, that's the size of it, that's how it works. This is the person using it. Great, understood. Next one, kids. You want to use a different one here. Kids, you use a much younger kid using the product. So when someone sees it, they go, oh, okay, I can understand. And you'll notice that there's a mother there using the product. So the mother can picture herself using the product with the kid. The teenager, no mother there, they use the product by themselves. Great. Guys, thanks for the feedback in the chat about using images. Again, type out that action list. What are ideas? If you haven't got people in there, how can you get that done? Just write a list of the actions, and then at the end of the call, what are the top 1 or 2 you're going to implement to get the most value? Okay. So what I want to also run through is the other part of the rules to live by. Bullet points are used to rank and convert. Don't spam the keywords. People know now about a spammy keyword listing. If you see one that may not have been touched for 4 or 5 years and there's just keyword everywhere, please don't do that. Bullet points are used to rank and convert. They have to be written well. Is your product world class? Have you read your reviews and fixed the issues? I'll talk about reviews on the next section. It's so important. And don't have a leaking bucket. Focus, in terms of priority, you focus on conversion first before traffic. The reason I say that is if you have conversion at, just say your conversion is at 5%. So 100 divided by 5, for every 20 people that visit your site, you get a sale. It's at 5%. If you can get your conversion from 5 to 10%, you've doubled your sales. Fantastic. Then once you've doubled your conversion, then you can double your sales, you've doubled that again, so it's ×4 improvement. So the strategy is always do conversion first, not traffic. The reason being, people start spending money, sending more traffic to convert to their listing, and it's not converting right. They don't have world-class best practice. Get your conversion right first, and that's why I'm showing you all these tools and strategies. Okay, great. I'm just going to pause for 10 seconds around Foundation 1. Just put a yes if this stuff's making sense. I just want to get some feedback if you're getting value from this about the speed of it. I really want to make sure you guys are taking this in, taking some notes, really understanding what we need to implement to get a world-class listing. My job here today is to make you guys succeed. I want to share with you the way I've succeeded in the past so you can take some of these learnings for you guys to succeed. So this stuff's making sense. Please put a yes. Love to get the feedback during the call. Fantastic. And guys, please understand, I've been in the shoes of not selling on Amazon, starting to sell on Amazon, moving up to 6-figure sales, moving to 7-figure sales, to eventually selling an Amazon business. So I've gone through the whole process from 0 to multi-7 figures to multi-7-figure exit. And that was during the aggregator boom of 2021. So guys, my goal is to share this value with you guys. So step 2, building a review strategy that drives trust and conversion. Okay, one thing you got to know, we talked about at the start, your listing has to be world-class, and then reviews are the lifeblood of your Amazon success. Amazon puts so much time and money into the review system. And when I say that, they don't allow manipulation. They want reviews that are genuine and real because that's what people spend a lot of their credibility on purchasing on. That's why you need a world-class product. It has to be a product that does its purpose and exceeds expectations. I'll put a few benchmarks here. So the absolute minimum review score you want for selling on Amazon is 4. That's the minimum. Once you're below 4, you're going to have major issues with your conversion rate. My aim is for always 4.5 stars and above. If you're under 4.5, if you're under 4 stars, generally it shows you have a material problem with your product. So don't blame Amazon if you're under 4 stars. Generally, if you're under 4 stars, you have an issue with your product that needs to be addressed. See it as an improvement opportunity. You'll be pretty quick why you're getting under 4 stars. Generally, it's product related and find out why. But guys, what I want to do is set your expectation of getting over 4.5 stars and then ideas to be able to get that as well. So you got to get your house in order. So the first one, AMZ Scout has a pro AI tool. I'm actually going to show it later. It's really cool. If it was around when I was launching, it would have saved me a lot of time and money I spent on marketing consultants for new ideas. So I'll show you that later. But also, you must read your negative reviews. Put a yes in the chat or a no. Put a yes if you once a week you spend time going through your negative reviews and reviewing them to find out what the issues are. Put a no if you don't. Put a no if you don't review them. I just want to see how many people spend time on that, because people often see negative reviews as an annoyance on Amazon. It's frustrating. Yes, I understand that, but also it's an opportunity to fix problems. So just put a yes if you do review, if you put time aside every week to review negative reviews, and put a no if you don't review them. Great. Thanks, Jed. I really appreciate the feedback, guys, as well. Okay. So what I generally suggest, 2 and 3 stars are the best for product ideas. 1 stars are people often just venting something. So often the 1 stars are just off on a vent. 2 and 3 stars will show you your best improvement opportunities. And what you need to do to your product to improve that. So what can you do? So a few things I'd recommend. Great guys to see that you guys are reviewing your negative reviews. So one thing I always suggest is, how can we improve the product delivery? So generally reviews are negative when the product doesn't meet the expectation. So they have an expectation of a product coming in, they get it, there's a fault with the product or what you sold them on. So what your imagery was, what your bullet point was, almost like what your commitment to them, what it delivers, wasn't met. So the first one is, I always recommend having an insert with a legitimate extended warranty for Amazon sellers. So it has to be legitimate. There has to be an insert just for sellers on Amazon, and they get an additional warranty. The great thing about this is when you get their warranty, you do get their email details. And one thing what I'll find is that when people sign up for stuff like this, they're more likely to contact you first rather than go through the Amazon system. Just always make sure you're compliant with terms of service. You can't on Amazon is ever ask someone to add or remove a review or incentivize them. So you have to be terms of service. And this is a terms of service legit. If it's a legitimate extended warranty that you're extending, not part of the normal one, but just say you normally offer a 6-month. If this is an extended one, 12-month, highly recommend doing it with an insert. The second one, and this was really surprising, put in instruction guide or way to add value that people don't expect. When you get your product, it so often comes in a box, they open it, and there's nothing to show it. Okay, maybe if it's a vitamin, you don't need a world-class listing, but I'm sure even a personal note, and you can make notes that look personalized, thanking the person for the purchase. Really important to have. What we did here with a product, we actually spent the time and made a few versions, and we made an amazing instruction guide. And I'll show you this later on. What this did was everyone had their own product, and we went back and read negative reviews. So our process read negative reviews on a product, and people were saying, product is hard to use, it's complex, don't know how to use it. We went through, and there's a few things we did, but one thing we did was spend time and develop. It ended up being about I think it was a 32-page guide in the end. It was less than 50 cents a print. An amazing guide about how to use the product, all the instructions on it. And that was what really projected our product into success for it. It sounds really simple. People don't go to the effort of making a great instruction guide. It was on good quality paper, professionally designed by a graphic designer. You can get people cost next to peanuts to get these things designed. Went the effort, put it in there, and it made a massive, massive difference. The reason is it exceeded people's expectations. They thought they're getting the product, the guide really helped them with them. An example of this one here, we talked about the reviews you want to get to. Product had 4.7 star reviews at over 7,000 listings. When you're at 4.7 star, Amazon's Choice Badge, you know you're doing something right. There was product issues. People weren't understanding how to use the product. Gave unexpected value, the world-class user guide. They also got an extended warranty as well. So that's what we used in terms of how to make the product take off and grow. So guys, take a step back. Think about what could you do for your product on Amazon? What could you do to add to your product to exceed expectations? If you're happy to share it, put in the chat. Just put in something you could think about doing with your product to exceed expectations. It could be online training guide, additional videos. What could you do to exceed expectations? Or it could be looking at your reviews and finding what issues there are that you need to improve upon. Quick one. This is one of the pro tips. Amazon does allow you to contact customers now if there is an issue with the product. You can't ask them to review the reviews. You got to have brand registry. That's why at the start I was saying who's got a trademark. because trademarks allow you to look at your negative reviews, and if there's an issue, there's a button now if an issue needs to be resolved. So that's just a pro tip that's come out. I think it's been out for about 4 or 5 months. Amazon's constantly changing it. Amazon basically, one thing that you have to adhere to is the terms and service of product reviews. You cannot manipulate them. You have to be adhere to their service. You cannot ask people to change a review or incentivize them. The best thing is make a world-class product, add value, and you'll get great reviews. Okay, so if you're launching a product, what can you do for reviews? So there's the Amazon Vine program. So that's a program open to people now, and it's a way to get up to 30 reviews quite fast. Also, Facebook community group. So one thing also for launching a product's all about how do you get the reviews out there and how do you get sales velocity to start ranking. One thing we recommend is go to Facebook groups. What's your niche? Are you in the education area? Are you selling a product for stay-at-home mums or sewing kit? How can you get in that authority area and give value and become authority? Once you've got that, we recommend having a Google survey form to get Facebook about your product. People will feel, if you've helped someone else, they'll probably want to help you. If you're giving a lot of value and saying you're launching a product, it's great. Then through these surveys, you can build up. And I've seen people build up survey lists of up to 1,000 people before they launch a product. They go through, they've been adding value for a month. They say, hey, by the way, we'd love to get your feedback on launching a new product. Would you mind going to this survey form? And then part of the form is, when we launch on Amazon, are we okay to email you about our product launch to buy a product? And then you launch that database. Look, I could do a full webinar about this process, but it's one of the best ways you can launch on Amazon fast to build out the listing. So that's for new people. If you're an established listing, think about your audience contacts on-site and outside of Amazon. And there's also products and tools out there where you can request a review. And there's some smarts around that where you can actually say, look, if someone's refunded the product, don't give them a review. On average, Amazon is about 1%, maybe 2% of your product sales will give you product reviews. So it's very, very low, but you just got to make sure that you stay on top of that. So guys, I'm just going to take a breather again. We're up to foundation 3. So we've got 5 foundations to go through, and I really want to make sure you got value on this one. So this is when we're starting to get into the nuts and bolts of using some of the keyword data. One thing I recommend to people, if you want to be successful on Amazon, use data. Don't go off gut feel. Use data. Use data points. Conversion rate. What's your conversion rate? What's your conversion rate's best practice? What keywords are you ranking on? What's your competitor ranking on? What keywords do you need to rank on? And that's what Foundation 3 is about. It's unlocking the power of keyword research to rank higher and reach your audience. And I just want to take a step back and say, look, keyword ranking, it's like climbing Everest. You don't go from base camp straight to the top. Take it with easy steps. You go up to stage 1, you come back down, reclimatize. Go to stage 2, have a rest, come back down, climatize. It's a process of going up, resting, reevaluating, come back down. And the reason I say that with Amazon is it takes time to rank. So I'll go through shortly the different life cycles of product. There's the launching, growth, established, and then declining. But what you want to do is you use your data. So what are the keywords you start with that you know you can rank for? Have I achieved that tick? Take a break. What's the next level of keywords we want to rank for? I'll show you AMZ Scout, actually some of the tools you can use to show that. It's absolutely fantastic. You can actually say, okay, these are keywords I want to target. I'm going to set my objective for the next 3 to 4 weeks to get to that. So I want to be ranking for these keywords. Once I've got that, I solidify it. Then what are the next keywords? Then we go back to, remember the start of the presentation, you talk about what's my buyer intent. Make sure that keyword matches your listing bullets, matches your imagery. So that's why I give the analysis. On Amazon, it's not straight to the top. Go up a bit, achieve your keyword goals, have a rest. What are the next keyword goals? Go up again, achieve those keyword goals, go up. So guys, it'd be great to just hear you guys. Just put in the chat. Give me a yes. Do you guys plan your keywords on a monthly goal? Like, do you target what keywords you want to rank on? Do you monitor them? Do you have a quarterly plan about this is the next set of keywords? Just put a yes if you have a keyword strategy, and just put a no if you don't. And guys, this is a system to learn from. If you're happy to share, fantastic. So guys, if you have a keyword strategy, let me know. Just put a yes. If you don't, put a no. And remember, this webinar is all about learning. How can you take the lessons from success and apply them to yourself? Remember, you got that action list of all these ideas you want to implement. That's what the purpose of this call is about. Okay, so AMZ Scout, got a fantastic tool. And one thing I want you to remember, you need data to run these. And I'm going to show you AMZ Scout, their tool, in terms of how to get the data out. I'll show you some things with the reverse ASIN, keyword tracker, keyword search tools, really beneficial in terms of being used. I'll go through this keyword strategy at the moment. Let me just do the live. Let me just go over the page. Oh, sorry, I'll just take a step back. So one thing I want to make sure when we go through this is you want to be focusing 1 to 2 keywords at a time. The reason being, the way the algorithm works is that you need sales for a keyword and converting on them. So there's no point saying I'm going to rank on 10 keywords this month and get to page 1 on all of them. You're much better saying, what are the 1 or 2 keywords I definitely want to rank on, get that conversion, and then I'm at the top, because it's way, way better to begin sales and ranking for 1 or 2 keywords that 100% bring in sales. You get sales every day from these keywords, than trying for 10 keywords and you're not ranking on any of them and you're getting no sales. So often I see the shotgun approach. I go, I want to rank on all these different keywords. People don't rank on any and they get no sales. Think about it. If you can rank on 1 or 2 keywords every month, getting sales from them, next month, 1 or 2 more keywords. So that means every month you get sales from one of those 2 keywords. Next month, you get sales on those 1 or 2 plus another 1 or 2. That means by the end of the year, you got 24 keywords you're ranking on, and some of them will continue, some of them drop back. That's why it's like Everest. But so much more important to achieve a keyword goal before you move on to the next one. And you got to understand your keywords to your product lifecycle. Mature products. So that's why I started to ask where you're selling on Amazon. If you're at the start, you launch on Amazon, lower search volume keywords. If you're mature, it's high search volume. And I'm going to give you a demo shortly of exactly how that works. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll just share my screen and I'll go through a demonstration. Just one moment. So just let me just put a yes in the chat if everyone can see the Amazon screen. Okay. So the first thing I want to show you guys is this is the AMZ Scout tool, about how to use some of it. So what I've typed in here is molecular model kit. It's come up with a bunch of search terms, and this is the AMZ Scout Pro AI tool. When I started out, none of these tools were available. These tools are absolute game changers. The difference it makes is unbelievable. Like the first thing I do when I'm looking at a product, I'll go to the screen here, and then I'll scroll across here, and I'll look at, where is it? Estimated revenue. Straight away, so I'll sort by that. Look, straight away, I can check. And remember, I typed in molecular model kit. So that's one there, that's one there, that's one there. So this one's not a molecular kit. So that one's not red. So look at this one here, Old Nobby. It's got all the revenue broken down here straight away. It's absolutely fantastic. So straight away, that's the first thing I go to. The second thing I go to straight away, and that's why at the start, if you haven't launched a product yet, this tool's like unbelievable. Actually shows you the net profit you're going to make. Shows the FBA fees. So I could go straight away, see this product here. I think this one, they've reduced it this week or this month. I know how much FBA fees, I know how much net margin is, less my cost from buying it, and straight away know if that's a product I'd be interested in buying. It's got some really cool stuff as well. I just want to show you another one that I really enjoy. Look at this one here. It's actually got a product score for you. So you can actually go through here and say, okay, which ones here actually looks like a good one? Higher the score, the better it is. So this takes away, I can quickly go and have a look at this, and it says, okay, product score, medium for profits. You don't need a lot of reviews. The listing quality is average. Big opportunity for revenue. Straight away, you can just scan through these ones and see high level, how much money I'm going to make in revenue. What's the potential? What's the cost? And then what's the product listing score? So these things are absolutely amazing in terms of showing what you can get out of it. Another one I'll show you, and this one I absolutely love. So let me go here. So this is the molecular kit model. So that's just the foundation. So you can go to Amazon, use this tool straight away, find out what the competition's selling, how much money they're making, and how strong their listing is in a few clicks. So this is the molecular kit model market. So I went in here, like if you click on, say, this listing here, which is this one here, it's actually got an AI tool. I actually love this one here, and I can give a personalized story about this one. So this product here, we sold to universities and colleges. But what we found is they actually approached us. I didn't think of this strategy. If you go through here, it's actually got an insight. It shows you the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I was reading through here, and it's also got an improvement idea, like what can you do to your product? And one of the improvements idea in here, it says to expand distribution channels. To one of them was, I looked before, it said increase to distribution channels like universities and schools. When I looked up the other day, target educational institutions and students. This was unbelievable. If you look at here, to actually give you ideas to boost on Amazon, like what are ideas you haven't thought of? And then under here, under the improvement ideas, this one here, the reason this was such a great seller was we built a world-class instruction guide. But they actually said, like, you could really stand out by having an online interactive tutorial, maybe some AR augmented reality. But even you had an online tutorial where you put all your videos or your instructions, and they think that could even boost conversions by 10 to 15%. Like, this is a fantastic tool. This is an AI tool that's part of it. I highly recommend it. You know, before we're talking about the negative reviews, how to read these, that helps you identify what the issues are. The AI tool helps you identify what the improvement opportunities are. So this is a new product. I think it's only been around a few months, the AI, but if I could say to someone, what would I do on Amazon? Definitely read your reviews. You got to make that. But this actually tells you ideas what we can do to improve the product. Look, I'm going to give you a pro tip here. This is the interface for AMZ Scout. As I said before, you have to be using data. They have a tool here that says keyword tracker. So I've just gone in here and I've added, and this is the microscope market here. I've added in one of the top sellers here, and this is going to give you a quick pro tip. Always check if your product's indexed. A question I often get is, my sales have just plummeted. I'm not sure why. I'll say, okay, is it traffic? Is it conversion? They look at it. It's traffic. Oh, okay. Traffic means something's happened with a keyword. Either happened with a keyword or the overall market, there's been a big dip in it. Keyword tracker here, what it does is it allows you to go and put for an ASIN what the keywords are you want to rank for. See this one here? This is one of the products, and they're not indexed for this keyword. So this keyword is, I know this is one of the top keywords for a product, and they're not indexed. That means they're not going to show in the keyword in the search results. Indexing means Amazon has your knows about your keyword. Ranking means where you appear. You can't rank before you're indexed. So this is one of those pro tips. If you ever have something like you wake up one day and the sales have just disappeared and your product's still working, often the product's lost its indexing. So this is one of the pro tips. This type of information, it's absolute game changer to be able to have these tools to find out straight away. Like if you wake up one day and you're doing $5,000 a day in sales, and you wake up one day and it's down to 1,000, I'd go straight away to this and see if there's been an issue with your indexing. I want to show you some other things as well with the reverse ASIN. So there's a product here called Reverse ASIN Lookup, and this tool is fantastic. You know, we were talking about before about what keywords to rank on, what ones to use. So what AMZ Scout have done, if they got a keyword ranking tool, it makes it so much easier for you guys. We'll actually show you the keywords in terms of effectiveness. So what are the keywords that are most likely to convert for a sale? Like this is actually fantastic, and it ranks it from a 10, which are great keywords, down to lower ones. And you can use this as a system. You know, when we're talking about the start, you want to have systems and processes. So this will actually show you a strategy on how to get ranking and sales in. So one process I recommend is go find the ASIN. So what you do here, put in your ASIN. So this is the microscope market. So we went down here, took this ASIN here. So if you actually open it up here, you go through here, and this one, let me just move this up. So what you do, you go through here, grab the ASIN, you copy it, go through here, add it in here, and find keywords. So that's how it brings back. As easy as that. So you go back, I'll just take it back. Just say in the microscope market, open up AMZ Scout, You'll find a bunch of the products, copy the ASIN, you do a few here, hit find keywords, and this is what you use for your keyword ranking. So if you go down here, I sort by this first, keyword effectiveness. I look for all the ones in greens. So all the ones in greens are here. Okay, so we look at this one, and it even shows the search volume and the average keyword sales. So this is where I take it back to what's your life cycle. If you're in launch, you're not going to go for the really big search keyword volumes and the big sales. You want to go for the low ones. If you're more established, go for the high ones. But just by looking at this today, see this one here, 1000x microscope, score of 7, average keyword sales per month. Absolutely crazy. So if you go into here, so let me go back here now. Let me just, sorry, I just want to bring this. Okay, so let me bring this one down here. So if I'm looking through this, this is really, these tools are amazing what you can do in terms of your ranking. You got to have that straight. So 1000x microscope, high keyword effectiveness tool, searches here, and then sales here. So I'm going through this one here. And then if you go through and look at the listing, okay, this is 4,000 to 2,000. So this means it's 1,000 to 2,000. This means it's 1,000 to 2,000. So it means it's within that range of 1,000, 2,000. The top keyword in this niche, really big sales, like 10,000 units a month. No one's got that one in their title. What they've done is everyone's put from 40 to 2,000. All they need is a separate bullet point, 1,000x, build a listing around this. I'd put something, everyone's searching for 1,000x microscope. The first, like this is an absolute no-brainer. Change the title so you got 1,000x in there. Second image, I'd put something to do with 1,000x on there and get that market share. Like this is the lowest hanging fruit. And I found that literally in a couple of minutes by going to the reverse ASIN lookup, find what the competition, find all the keywords from the competition, look from the green ones. What are the easy ones to rank on? The most effective, look at keyword sales, and then go and look at the competition. No one's doing that. No one's putting that 1,000x in there. Straight away, that'd be the quickest win. So guys, if you got AMZ Scout today, write down an action line, go put in your top 4 to 5 competitors in the reverse ASIN lookup. So you go here, reverse ASIN lookup, paste them in, find, look up effective keywords. Anything in green, look those ones up. Make sure they match your buyer intent. So which ones match your buyer's intent? Look at that against your keyword sales. And what's the low-hanging fruit? Like this is an absolute gold mine. If anyone's in the Microsoft niche watching this, do that one today. A couple other ones I just want to show as well. There's a really cool tool here called the keyword search. So in this case here, I'm going back to the example of molecular model kit. So I've typed that in here and it shows you some of the keywords here. But what I want to show you here is actually shows you the search volume over time. Now, the reason this is so important is it actually shows you when are the peak periods for your sales in this product. So you look at this one here, September, October are the biggest sales periods. December's okay, February's not bad. So this means it's a seasonal product when school goes back. So if you're looking at here, small, even during the July period, kids are on holiday. So this is a product that are generally used by school kids. And this actually shows the search issue. So this actually shows you when do you need to be really having your stock high. Look at the search volume there, 4,500 for this keyword. It's almost gone up, what's that, 5x during this period. So this is when you need ramping up. That means in August, you need to be ranking, set up your campaign, set up your listing for this keyword, because come September, that's when all the sales come. And what's even better than that, if you click through here, you can actually go through and find your competition and find out what their rank is for those periods. Because you can actually show here if competitors are actually selling out of stock, what their inventory levels are. And it's really cool. I just waited to load for a moment. And look, I know this is getting a bit technical, but it's super simple using these tools. Like you only need 3 or 4 processes using these tools, and it makes an absolute huge difference. So you can actually go through here and then click on this one. And it'll actually show you their ranking for that keyword over a time, over the product history. So what you'll find here, look, these guys were ranking. So coming through here in September, this is their biggest period, and actually ran out of stock before the biggest period here. Again, these guys, September, October was the biggest period, and they've run out of stock again because it shows their product rank. Oh, sorry, it's done the opposite. So this is when their ranking's gone extremely well. So lower the better. So they've been selling here. They smashed it during this period. They smashed it during this period. The reason you want to do that is actually shows you seasonality. It helps you prepare for when you need to get your product ready for the launch period. So you should know this. Like, this is something you do maybe once a quarter. Okay, check in. This is the search volume, and you do this across keywords. You say, okay, this is a big keyword at this period. Normally get 5 or 6 of your keywords. So, I talked about the reverse ASIN. Go to the reverse ASIN, look at the 5 or 6 keywords. You add them in here, and you can actually plan out your year. So that's super, super important. And lastly, these tools are really cool. Just put a yes in the chat if you're using any of these strategies. Put a yes if you use the AI tool for improvements. If you're checking your indexing, put a yes. If you're using the reverse ASIN, so you know which keywords to rank on, or if you're even searching for keywords, just put a yes. And look, lastly, they've even built a AI product listing. Basically, you got all your data here from reverse ASIN. You may not be great at writing listings. They've actually got a keyword tool here. You put in your keywords here, and you hit generate, and actually builds out a listing that shows you all the keywords you got from your research here. So guys, So guys, I've just turned off the screenshot just for a moment. I just want to see if that's resonating with people. I know I was asking, do you guys use processes around that? Basically, I just want to show you these tools not that long ago weren't as advanced as they are now. Like these AI ones, that of all those, that's probably my favorite one because it gives you so many ideas for improvements. Absolutely fantastic. The must-haves are reverse ASIN lookup. Definitely look at keyword effectiveness. So go for those low-hanging fruit. You can rank on easy, high sales volume. Go back, what's your buyer's intent, change your listing. That's why it's super important. Then there's also the keyword search. Okay, look at the keyword search. What are the periods where there's high search volume, and you got to get ready the month before? Have you got your inventory ready? Make sure you've got that. Then there's the AI tool as well, and there's a whole bunch of other ones, but I don't want to go through that. I want to make sure that we give you value, but also how you can implement it. Okay, guys, now we're on Foundation 4, and just let me take a moment just for a sip. Okay, so understanding PPC metrics for scaling for success. I remember asking at the start how long people spend actually on PPC today. I'd love to know. Just put in the chat again if you weren't at the start. Do you monitor your PPC each week? Like, do you just log in and check the numbers, or do you spend time on it? If you don't actually go in and have steps in place like a process, just put no. If you spend an hour, 2 hours, just put in the chat. I'd love to get the feedback on it. Okay. So guys, PPC very similar to conversion, to making products successful. It's about ranking, a conversion, and TACoS. TACoS is your total advertising cost of sales. It's how much you spend on advertising versus total sales. You don't need to measure. Everyone talks about ACoS because it's a metric shown in Amazon. That's what people talk about. ACoS, advertising cost of sales, shows you what you spend, how many sales you get from it. It's not about that. PPC is a ranking tool. It's how much you spend versus your overall sales. The reason being, you could spend money on one high volume search term that brings in the majority of your sales. And if that one gives you the organic rank really high, it doesn't matter about your ACoS. The whole system is around your TACoS. How much you spend on advertising versus your total sales. You want to be getting your profits from organic sales. You use PPC to help your ranking, and then you make your profits on the organic sales. So a couple of things. AIMS Scout, we just went through that before. Definitely use that in terms of search volume, keyword effectiveness. Really helpful. But also use your brand analytics. There's something called top search terms, and wash those together. They're two great tools. I'll use AIMS Scout because if you don't have a trademark, you can't get this. But AIMS Scout actually shows the effectiveness. Effectiveness means green, great keyword to rank for. Orange, a bit harder. Red, not as relevant. You also got to make sure that with PPC that the top ranking terms aligns with your buyer intent. At the start, we always talked about his buyer intent. It's all about conversion. So what's your customer looking for? What's that search term? Generally, longer tail, hyper relevant, converts super high. Then the more broader you go, the higher the volume, the less the conversion. But one thing I really recommend as well, put this in your actions, is that you need single keyword campaigns. Generally, product ads make up the majority of your sales. And the reason being, it just looks like an image on the listing. People don't know it's an ad because Amazon hides it quite well now, that it's only a sponsored link, it's very small. The reason you want single keywords in campaign is it allows you to control many things. You bid up or down the top of search where it appears on the page for that specific keyword. Because you may find that some keywords appears better at top of search, other ones appear rest of page. So what we find is that on general for each ASIN, 5 to 6 keywords make up the majority of your sales. So for those ones, you need single keyword campaigns that you're reviewing for whether you want to appear at the top of the page, the rest of the page, or somewhere else. So one thing I definitely take away is a single keyword. You don't want to, the biggest mistake I see in PPC, people mix up, they have multiple keywords in an ad group. You can do that if it's very low volume. High volume, definitely not. Or they add different match types to the same campaign. So they'll have a broad and a phrase in the same campaign. It's worth the time to separate these out. Out of this message, if you write down all those actions, the one thing you want to take away out of the PPC, single keyword campaign, high conversion keywords. Okay, so some of the best practice here, you probably don't see this because this is getting the advanced information on advertising. But actually just put a yes or a no in the chat. Put a yes if you guys understand what the tacos is. I just want to make sure people understand that because it's not a phrase that people, everyone knows about. And because it's not within Campaign Manager, people don't always use it. But just put a yes if you're clear on tacos and no if you're not. And I'll spend a bit more time on it just before I go through these best practices. So what I want to be able to do is set you guys up for success on Amazon. I want to make sure you understand the principles of strategies, but also how you implement them as well. Great. Okay, so that's great. Tacos, how much you're spending on advertising versus your total sales. That's tacos. ACOS is how much you're spending on PPC sales versus PPC spend versus PPC sales. So tacos, not ACOS, tacos. Best practice, under 10%. Great. So if you're establishing a brand name, if you're in the launch phase, your tacos may be 30 to 40%. If you're an established brand, maybe up to 15%. And if you're a household brand name, if you're like an Apple, something like that, it's probably like 5% or less. But these are high-level benchmarks. So when you have your quarterly planning, what's our tacos? And that's why it's okay for ACOS to be high for certain keywords. If you've got a super, super high volume keyword, that means you're ranking on page one because you're getting PPC sales, it helps you boost. It doesn't bother me that has a high ACOS. I want a fantastic tacos. Okay, so guys, just some tips on launching and gaining momentum on Amazon. I really want to show Foundation 5 so you guys have a really clear picture about the ecosystem of Amazon and the difference between launching and the momentum stages. So when you're launching, so you start, we talk about if you're a new seller, established seller. So if you're a new seller on Amazon launching, and even if you're an established seller, you have to be rolling out ASINs. You need to bring out new products because that's how you can keep growing your account. There's 2 stages in Amazon. Once you get to a top seller, like top 1 or 2 sellers in that marketplace, you're not likely going to get more sellers. You need to bring out the new products. So that's why you need to know how to launch. So launching is all about credibility and focus. So you need an alignment of your keywords and your listing. So when you're launching product reviews, make sure you're above 4.5. That's why I spent so much time on there. Make sure people are clicking on listing. That's why I spent so much time on the world class. And then the buyer intent. So the keywords that you're going to go for. So use AMZ Scouts, keyword effectiveness, that and the listing lines up. So that's what launching is all about. Then there's the 4 stages, and you got to know what stage you're in. So when you're selling on Amazon, there's 4 stages. You're launching, so that's when the product's new to Amazon. Your whole goal is around product reviews. You're growing, so that means you've got reviews every week. Your sales are slowly progressing, and the focus is on keywords. So what keywords you focus on and your conversion. Then the 3rd stage is market leader. So once you get to the market leader, you're the top 1 or 2 sellers in the category. So when we went back before and looked at this tool here with, and it showed the revenue. I think back here it showed that what is $100,000 a month. Where is it? Let me just scroll across here. So like 100,000, 70,000, 50,000. Once you're on those top 2 sellers. Oh, sorry, you couldn't see my screen. I was just showing the tool then. Once you're on the top 2 sellers, that's when you know you're a market leader. So once you're a market leader, it's all about how your competitors are ranking for keywords. So you sort of you're still focusing on your own business, but you keep an eye on your competitors. Are they increasing on this keyword? If they are, what's my rank? So it all comes around to that. I call it a gap analysis. So once you get to the market leader, at the start, you're just trying to get reviews you're launching. Growing, you're finding out what keywords you want to rank high on. Once you're at the top of the leaderboard, then you're keeping a really strong eye on your competition. Every month, what keywords are they ranking from, and am I ranking just as highly? Also, calendar planning. Like you actually have to start planning out. Once you're doing $100,000 a month just for one product, you're getting good sales. You actually need to plan out, okay, what are the calendar months? What seasonal things are there? We've got Prime Day coming up. Is it a seasonal product with summer or Christmas? How do we start planning that? Then also, what's the PPC keyword expansion? Once you're at market leader, you want to be using all the PPC tools, all the campaign types, all the strategies, brand awareness. Launching really narrow set of PPC strategies is about keyword, growing or expanding. But you also got to remember there's also declining as well. Amazon, you do go through different phases. We talked about it being like Everest. You go up the top, come back down slightly. Some people, what they find is they get a top selling product, they do really well, they don't look at their listing for 6 months, they don't change it. Then someone comes in like you, they got the right tools, they got a world-class listing, they use AMZ Scout with all the listing capabilities, and they slowly chip away market share. And before they know it, their product that was doing $100,000 a month, maybe now doing $70,000. And they think, oh, maybe it's something, maybe it's seasonal. And before they knew it, it's doing $50,000, they lost 50% of the market share. And this happens unless you're staying on top of it. And once this happens, you got to work it out. Okay, is it the quality of the product? Has there been something wrong in my production run? This actually happened to me once. Years ago, I changed supplier for a product because I was going to save about 20%. I didn't do good checking QA on the product quality. Launched on Amazon, a whole bunch of issues, lost a whole bunch of market share because my negative reviews came in, or because I was trying to save some money and didn't do the proper QA. So is it a quality issue? Is it your reviews? Is it your price? Has the market changed? Or is it the competition? Often, I find if you're declining market share, you've either got something with a supply chain, which is less rare. Generally, it's a competition. Someone's come in who's hungry, who wants a way to grow their business. They're learning, they're understanding, they're using these strategies, and they've actually started to take away your market share. They spent time looking at their listing. They spent time looking at your listing. Theirs is now world-class. They know their buyer intent. They're taking away your market share. That's why you need to have a process in place to go through this work. So I just want to take a breather there, just get some feedback from you guys. Give me a yes if it's making sense. Love to get your feedback on here. But at the same time, part of this is about how we can make you successful on Amazon. What can AMZ Scout and Atomic AMZ do to help you? And look, I'd love to share how I can help you. And is this okay? I know this can be hard. I've gone through it. I've gone through the process of not having a mentor, not having the systems, not having these tools to access. I had to learn it all off my own back. But you have a choice now. You can keep doing what you're doing, but this is what it's about. If you believe that building and scaling your own successful business with proven strategies is an answer to a better life, higher income, or creating a valuable asset you fully own and you can sell some days, then that's what you want to make a choice on. And look, you're going to need some help. I know this because I've gone through the trenches to get where I am. And how do you know who to choose when it comes to someone helping you? So look, I didn't say this at the start, but I've scaled multiple businesses from 0 to over 3.4 million revenue. I've been selling Amazon, as I said, since the start, since 2013. I've adapted through all the different major platform changes. I personally manage each client's account. You get me, not a junior team member. And 30 minutes with myself can save you hours, if not years, hundreds of thousands of dollars on wasted effort. I remember working with one client and I've prevented over $100,000 in launch mistakes just through optimization and hands-on management. And probably the biggest game changer I've had in my life was actually when I sold my Amazon business. We grew to a point, we got offered a sale. The day I sold it, I knew I never had to worry about a mortgage again. I knew I never had to worry about family holidays again. And I knew I was set up for life. And then life became about how do I spend my time? How do I choose who I spend my time with? And how do I get enjoyment and give that back to other people? And that was a life-defining moment for me. When I started in 2013, in my wildest dreams, I never had an idea. If you remember at the start of the presentation, I was selling 1 to 2 units a day, and I was happy with that. Fast forward that when you're approached to sell your business and it's life-changing, I just want to share that these things are possible. This is not someone who's on stage and was given a silver spoon in his mouth. I went from it. I knew nothing about Amazon. I had inventory under my bed, literally under my bed. My friends used to laugh at me, call me a business in a box. Fast forward, I ended up selling that business for multi-7-figure exit. That was life-changing. So guys, I want to share this with you. It is possible. One thing I know that works is learning. I had a positive correlation between the more I learned from people who had success, the more my business grew. And just to give you some background, so this is Jaden. We grew his business 900% through targeted PPC campaigns. He's the Amazon operations manager that I speak to, and they're in the robot industry. And I just want to give some time about some people we've worked with. These are different people we worked with in the vitamins industry, flooring, health and beauty, mats. One business went from 22,000 to over 340,000 in 6 months. One customer who we helped was only doing $10,000 a month during Prime Day. This Prime Day, they did 292,000. And we actually help people launch strategies as well in terms of helping grow their business. And look, this I want to share with you. So this is one business that we took. They're doing in PPC results. This is a screenshot from their campaign manager. Over $1 million in PPC sales for $100,000 spend. That was under 10% ACOS. Fantastic result. One coffee company we worked with, we took their business, they're doing $24,000 a month in 6 months through PPC, really focusing. And a lot of that work around buyer intent, focusing on it, we took them to over $380,000 in 6 months. Basically because we had the right tools to do it and we knew the strategies put in place. Another one in 1 month, they did $250,000 in PPC sales alone. This company, I know they did $1 million a month on that month. 27% of it, so $270,000 just came from PPC sales alone, and that was at under 10% ACOS. And the reason I share ACOS is because it's on the screen. We can't share the tacos on the screen. Look, another company we worked with, they just needed increasing conversions. This is in the vitamin industry, and we actually went through that stuff we're talking about the world-class. We implemented all the world-class strategies, and their conversion increased by 23%. So that was a massive lift, and we could do that in a really quick turnaround. This is another company. This one, if you look at their ad spend here, PPC sales, just before they actually ran out of inventory, we took their sales. This is just PPC sales in May. We got them close to $500,000 in May just on PPC. And you can see there, they actually ran out of inventory even before Prime Day came in. Just because we grew them so fast. If you look at here, no PPC spend, we went up to close to $500,000 and they actually ran out before Prime Day. And that's why it's important to have some of these things. We can't share that seller's name, but just some of the success we've had. And then even the sport one, we took one client in the sporting industry. They had their first $1 million month through Prime Day. A lot of it was through the execution and planning and setup for the Prime period. We actually did a lot of work to get them ranking in June, and Prime Day, they did their first $1 million month during Prime Day. And this is just some testimonials we got from Peter. Sometimes I like to save these because it just feels good when you help people. Someone here just saying we helped smash their Prime Day. We helped a company with some reimbursements. An idea we put together in terms of product improvement. Just all different ways we can help businesses as well. So what I want to show you guys is here how we can help you guys. So what I want to show you today, and that's why I said to stay around for the offer. Look, the first thing I want to offer you guys is, I call it the $1 million Amazon audit. And this is, you want to stop bleeding money and start earning. This is a 30-minute deep dive with myself personally. I'll jump on a call with you and we'll do a deep dive analysis of your top selling or problem ASIN to work out what are the hidden revenue blocks and optimization opportunities. We do a complete diagnosis of the growth levers, because often you have your own blind spots on, you can't see what's working. And you don't know what's working, you don't know what you don't know, and you need a third person to come in. And from that, we make a roadmap. So what's working at the moment, what's not, and what's the fastest path to profitability. And this can literally save you months of trial and error. And then from there, you get clarity. What are your next action steps? And look, the thing I want to tell you is don't invest further money until you identify what's holding back your product and you've mapped out a strategy for profitable growth. This is something that people can spend a year on. I've had calls with people saying, look, love to help you. And they say, yep, great. Come back in a year's time. They come back in a year's time and they haven't grown. They've lost market share because they didn't want to take 30 minutes of their time to work out what's really working on the Amazon audit. What we can also offer you is the 9-step Amazon PPC blueprint. Look, I've actually put together an Amazon blueprint for PPC. It goes through the 3 stages. So how do you master the foundation steps? What are the campaign structures you need for foundation? What are the questions you've got to ask yourself? What are the activities? The accelerate stage. So once you get our foundation, once you accelerate, what sort of campaigns do you need to turn on? How do you capture more market share? And then scaling success. Once you're in the advanced stage, once you're one of those top sellers, how do you expand out your PPC campaigns? What are the tasks you need to be doing? Are you doing the gap analysis? And then the third thing we offer you is 6-step Amazon scaling video training. This is actually something we use in our own agency. So I run an agency where we help clients grow their business. And it's a 6-step process. You get access to that. It actually runs through the 6 steps that we follow when we're running through a listing, and you can take for that. And we also actually show you, learn from proven winners. So we actually show you real success listings, what works, what doesn't work, and how to grow your business that way. And that's valued at $149. In addition to that, one thing I want to make sure you guys understand is you need to use data. So AMZ Scout, fantastic tool. I showed you before, they got the AI Pro extension. They got the ASIN reverse lookup, the keyword search, the product tracker, keyword tracker, view the stats. This is the type of tool, if you're selling Amazon and be successful, you need a tool that actually works like this. So I showed you before the Pro extension, the AI. That's when we bring up on the screen, and instantly it shows you the sales, the revenue, the costs, the competition, product score quality. This is the first one I recommend. As soon as a competitor in the market, use this tool. Are they taking your market share away? What's the quality of their score like? This is an absolute must-have for the Pro extension. And this is all included as part of the package. You also get the AI tool. You know, when we talked about on the video where I actually showed you the suggestions they have in terms of the online training, what the weaknesses are, what the improvements are. These are things in the past I used to pay marketing consultants for. Years ago, before the AI tools like this, I actually used to pay marketing consultants saying, look at this, what else can we do differently? How can we improve it? Now with the AI tool, within a few clicks like we showed you, these ones come as part of the AMZ Scout. You also got the AMZ Scout database. So these actually show you fantastic tools. I didn't even go through some of these tools here, but they've got over 600 million products in their database. And you actually go through looking for products with certain review scores, certain revenue. You can use that. And so this is an excellent tool in terms of product research. We went through the AMZ search tool. This is that really important tool that we showed you in terms of the history, when to plan it, how to plan out the calendar, and the reverse ASIN. This is one of the most powerful tools in the suite. I personally suggest the keyword effectiveness, the sales, keyword trends. You need to be able to plan out your business so you got those keyword growths, and you can put together a plan, but you need a tool to execute it. And that's what AMZ Scout offers with these type of tools. In addition, what AMZ Scout does, they actually give you 1,000+ product ideas. So that's what we were talking at the start. How far through your Amazon journey are you? Even if you're an advanced seller, you need product expansion. And they'll have 1,000 product ideas that are in the top 1%. So they use their AI tool to go through 600 million products for 19 of the top 1% most profitable products. They also give you the monthly trend reports. You know, we're talking about you got to stay on top of the market. What are the new functions coming out? Every month, Amazon are releasing new tools. AMZ Scout will actually send you out a monthly report that contains the top product trends, profitable niches, news. You got to stay on top of this. One thing I know that works is the more time you spend in your education, learning from experts, the more your sales grow. That's valued at $19.99. This report is $4.99 value. And what else you get as well? You get the report with 5 booming categories, how to get the reviews guide, and how to appear on Amazon's first page. These are fantastic products. They're valued $4.95, and these are all the bonuses you get today if you sign up with the package that we want to offer you. And lastly, if you're just starting on Amazon, or even if you're an established seller, there's a list of 100 suppliers from the US and Europe that AMZ Scout's put together. I haven't even gone through that today. Working with suppliers is a whole nother webinar. This is one of the fastest ways you can optimize your profits by getting a better relationship with your vendors and suppliers. Often even just shopping around for new suppliers, using this tool, you can save tens of thousands of dollars a year. I haven't even gone to this, but this is one of the unspoken things. If there's a list of suppliers, if you can actually get a second opinion on your review, you may get it for a cheaper product, or your current supplier may be charging a bit more. And if you're making, and it can make a real difference to your bottom line, your profits. So look, The bundle today, AMZ, Atomic AMZ, our business, and AMZ Scout. If you put this together, so you have the half-hour audit with myself. I actually jump on a call with you. This is valued at $497. I'll give you the PPC blueprint, actually how to set up your PPC from foundation, growth to maturity, valued at $49. The training you get, the actual SIP sets we use in our agency to grow the business, valued at $499. This is a must-have, the AMZ Scout tool. This is the tool I've been showing you through the demonstration. It's valued at $399. That is a must-have. You need a tool to succeed on Amazon. AMZ Scout is excellent. Then you've also got the bonuses with the product ideas, the trend reports, valued at almost $2,500. The booming categories, how to get reviews, $495, and then a list of 100 suppliers that can save you on the bottom margin, valued at $399. So total value, $4,486 today. But the bundle today, it's on special today for $549. So to go through that, if this is something that you want to grow your business with Amazon, having the right tools. So this is like a two-prong approach. You get an expert like myself jumping on a call with you to say, okay, this is your initial, what you need to do. This is what you need to do to audit your listing. This is what you need to do to grow your business. Then you've got the tool to implement that. That's how you succeed. You get the knowledge, you get the tool. That's how you grow your business. Now, guys, if this is something that resonates with you, I'd highly recommend it. You can either, it's in the sticky at the top of the screen in the chat, you'll see the sticky messages, or you can copy and paste the URL down the bottom at the page, or you can scan it on your phone. So there's 3 ways to do it. At the top, click the link, scan on your phone, or type this in the URL at the bottom to get it. So remember, you get the $497 value, the call with myself, the half hour. That can be a game changer in itself. If you've got a product that you need to launch a product, your product's not growing where you want it to, your product's in decline, you'll get a top 1% Amazon seller to go through that with you for half an hour and map out a strategy. You get the 9-step PPC guide. You get the video we use in our agency. You get the AMZ Scout tool, which is a must. You get the bonuses. Or today, it's valued at $4,486. Today, it's only $549. And guys, there's also payment terms. When you actually go through, you can actually do buy now, pay later. So you've got 4 interest-free payments as well, which is fantastic. So if you want to do it that way, you've got that plan as well. And you'll have access to my bonuses, access to the AMZ Scout tools immediately. So you'll get access straight after. Once you make payment, you get access to the AMZ Scout tool. Right on those action lists. The first thing I'd recommend, action list, reverse ASIN lookup, keyword effectiveness. How can you go and implement that today? You also get a refund guarantee, 10 days. Try it. If you're not 100% satisfied, there's a refund guarantee, 100% guarantee. So guys, you can go through the URL at the bottom of the page, scan the QR codes, or at the top of the page as well, you can buy it. And just remember the offer here. I'll go through that one more time. So what I'll do, I'll take some questions in the Q&A as well. So let me just go through. So a couple of questions that I can answer. I just want to see a couple of questions I can answer here. Was a first product I sold? It was a product that took stickers off cars. It was just something I found randomly to sell online. Another question, how much time will you spend in meetings with yourself? So guys, we have a 30-minute kickoff call for this one here. So I charge $497 per half hour. I actually go through your listing beforehand. So I actually find your listing beforehand, research it, get all the information I need, and then we jump on a call and go through it. And that's how we get the most out of it. Look, I've seen this so many times. People don't get the direction they need at the start. They come back 6 months later, 12 months later, the same issues, just repeating it, and they haven't had them solved. Another question about why choose yourself instead of other mentors. Look, guys, it's a personal question about who you work with. The thing I always ask, I have a number of mentors myself in life across all different areas. The first thing I always ask them, have they had success in your field? Do you resonate with them? And if they have, then go for it. So my success, I went from 0, started up 3 different brands, over 7 figures each of those brands, and I actually sold the business. Less than 1% of Amazon sellers exit for a profitable business. So less than 1, I think actually, I looked it up, it was under 1 in 1,000 can actually sell a 7-figure business from Amazon sellers. So it's top 0.1%, so 1 in 1,000 people. Another question, how many students do you have? We actually, our offering for the call, we can talk about that later. I do this to help people sell and get the right tools. I'll just go through some more questions. Conversion rates. So actually there's a question here about conversion rates, what's acceptable. Conversion rates goes on the niche. So very high price products go back to conversion rates I've seen low as 2%. The lower the price product, the high consumable, conversion rates go, I've seen up to 15 to 20%. Our highest conversion rate we had was 25%, because one of the strategies we used was multi-purchase buy. So we had a strategy knowing that people might buy multiple units. So what we did was actually have a multi-purchase buy. If you bought more, you'd save more, and we'll show that in the imagery. And we got up to 25%, which is insane on Amazon. It was only because people were doing multi-purchase buys. So I just want to go through the offer again, just to make sure it's clear for people. So the offer is the call with myself. This is the half hour where I actually review a listing beforehand, get all the information, sit down with you half an hour, build out what are your problems, what are your issues, what's blocking you, how do we build our roadmap, and how do we get clarity on the next steps. We also give you the 9-step PPC blueprint. So you work out, are you at foundation, are you accelerate, are you at success stage? The training video, the 6-step processes we use in our own agency to grow the product. The AMZ Scout. So if you're going to be on Amazon, you need a data-driven tool. AMZ Scout comes with a Pro extension, the reverse ASIN lookup, keyword search, product tracker, keyword tracker. The action you take today, just look at keyword effectiveness. It's one of the best tools on Pro Scout. It makes such a difference. Even with this tool here, like within minutes, you can actually see what's happening in your marketplace with the competition, what you need to do, people taking your market share, are you growing their market share? The AI tool, that's the one where it actually shows you what the opportunities are, what can you do differently. You read the negative reviews, find out what the issue are, use this to find out how to grow. So one of them's stopping problems, one of them's creating sales. And that's what the Pro AI extension does. The databases actually helps you find products. Over 600 million products are indexed by AMZ Scout. The keyword search tool, remember we're looking at search volume history to actually plan out the seasonal times. We didn't need to plan your ranking for. The product we showed you was actually September, not during Prime Day. So during July, you have to get ready for September. And also the keyword effectiveness. We showed you all the keywords, that 1000x on the microscope. How can you use that to optimize? Straight away, I think that keyword had 10,000 sales a month and no one was optimizing for it. You also got the 1,000+ product ideas valued at $2,000, the monthly trend report valued at $499. The booming categories, how to get reviews, how to appear on search page 1 at $495. Also the suppliers. Remember, don't forget this, like having the supplier list, absolutely fantastic. You don't have to spend time going through Alibaba. You got 100 suppliers, US and Europe, absolutely fantastic. And that's what the value today is, $4,486. As a special day, it's $549. Use a QR code, the bundle at the bottom, or the sticky at the top. Just going through some more questions. Do you sell worldwide? Sell US, Canada, Europe, Australia. Other questions, am I from the UK? No, I'm in Sydney. I go to the US a fair bit, but I'm in Australia based. We actually moved from New York to Australia once we had the kids, but I do go to the US a bit. I have lived in the UK, lived in London, lovely people. Trying to find some other questions that we go through. How many months until profit exceeds expenses? I recommend it's not where the profits are exceeding expenses at the start. I always look at where keyword ranking is going. Because if you're not ranking, there's two different issues. If you're not ranking, you're not converting, and your expenses are outside your profits, you've got a major issue. If you're ranking and you're converting and your expenses exceed your profit, that's acceptable because you know you're on the right path. So it's all about directional data to know which way you're going. So I wouldn't look at it that way. I would actually look at, okay, what's your keyword rank strategy? What's your conversion? How are you going month to month in terms of your margins to do that? Yes, when you launch, you need to be spending money on it, but are you heading in the right direction? That's the first one. So what are your KPIs for your keyword rank, your conversion? Look at your profits monthly, but are you heading in the right direction? Another one, how much money should we have to start? So it comes down to product selection. We didn't do product selection today, but I always recommend one of the strategies we use, and this is a separate topic, go to a supplier. Often they'll say you need to buy 5,000 units MOQ, 2,000 units MOQ, the strategy we use, I'll say, look, I'll buy 500 units or even less, 250 units, but I'll pay you 20, 30% more. So they get the money and they can sell it to you. I always recommend, if you're new to Amazon, MOQ maximum 500 units. There's so much to learn. It's more about learning. Myself personally, I've launched over 50 products, and we've had 3 #1 category bestsellers out of that. Let me go back, answer that one. So question, is it only for one ASIN for our complete product, or if we have 2 parents? Look, it's really up to you. If you have 2 products, if they're similar, often it will be, what I suggest, if you have 2 products, send them both to me. I'll have a look at both of them. We normally deep dive because 30 minutes, there's only so much we can get through, but I can pretty quickly, from my experience, work out what the concerns or questions are. So Ahmed, whoever answered that one, if you do have an issue with 2 different ASINs, send them both through and I can have a look at those ones. So guys, just going through, seeing if there's any other questions, Q&A we still want to answer. So I just want to make sure that everyone's across what's being offered today. And today's really about setting you guys up for success. Like, we want you guys to be successful on Amazon. I want you to be successful on Amazon. And the reason being, success on Amazon brings success to your life, your family, your happiness. And in my view, there's always abundance in life. I know what it's like going from 0 to having that success, and it wasn't an easy story. I was looking at all different products, categories, different type of ones. What do you do with certificates for your products? So yeah, someone just asked a question, say certificates. You definitely want to, so anything your product's achieved, awards of that, you definitely want to share with your customer. Certificates are best seen through, so there's 2 types of certificates. There's one maybe for assurance. If it's just an assurance product, that's less likely to convert. It may be a technical product. If it's a certificate for, I know it's been best designed product, use that in your imagery because that gives you credibility and conversion, and use that in your A+ premium content. So certificates, if it's a certificate just about how to use it, you can actually upload certificates, or if it's required on Amazon. Certificates, if it's for technical, it's not going to help your conversion. If it's like an award or you're certified for being a top XYZ, put it as part of your imagery to give that credibility for it. Conversion's all about credibility, that what people are buying, they expect is going to be delivered, and that's one way to do it. So guys, just going through, I call it the $1 million audit. Basically, take a step back, find out what's working, not working with your listing, have an expert look at it, diagnose the problems, what's the roadmap, where do you start next? I so often hear people come back a year later, products declined, we're in a worse situation, we've lost more money, what do we do wrong? Spend the time, have the audit. This, for me, of our services, is one of the most beneficial thing I can do to help your business grow. Again, there's a PPC blueprint. What do you do at growth? What do you do accelerate? What do you do in scale? We also have the training. What are the strategies we use in our 6-step system? The AMZ Scout toolset, AI toolset included, the Pro tool I showed you, the reverse ASIN, the keyword search, the product tracking, all the tools you need to set up your monthly goals for success. The actual tool that shows you everyone's sales, revenue, profit, margins. This one's a game changer. This actually shows you what your issues are, your strengths, your opportunity, and this shows you how can you actually improve that. Also the database, and actually I didn't even show it today. You can actually search Amazon's 600 million plus products. AMZ Scouts has put them all in their database, use the criteria, actually shows you some great products you can launch with. We talk about the keyword search, finding search history, when do you need to plan, reverse ASIN, keyword effectiveness. What's fantastic about that? 1,000+ products. So what are the top 1% products? If you're new in the market, you need to find a product. Weekly hot products, absolutely fantastic. Monthly trend report, you need to keep up to date. Valued at $19.99, valued at $4.99. Fantastic offerings from AMZ Scout. And also the AMZ Scout bonuses, reports, booming categories, the review guide, how to get on page 1, valued at $4.99, $4.95. And guys, you put these together with the supplier list at $3.99, and this comes to a value of, it's close to $5,000, $4,486. All these benefits, and today it's only $549. Something I'd highly recommend you take advantage of. If you want to do it, there's a link below. So copy and paste that in your URL, scan the QR code, or at the top of the screen under the Q&A section, there's the link there to buy as well. So go through the QA to see if there's any other questions that haven't come in. What else is there? Look, someone said, "What's an ideal student for you?" Basically, it basically comes down to attitude. So if I look at helping a business with agency, it comes down to attitude. So can we help your business? Are you open to the suggestions that we implement? We actually have a done for you agency. We run it for you. But ideal student, if we jump on that call for you, it's really about how can we add as much value as possible and how can you go and implement those. Amazon. Actually, someone asked about Amazon. I think that's merchandise. I'm not sure what Amazon merch means. If someone just wants to rewrite when it says Amazon merch, I'm not sure that merch means merchandise like you see on YouTube, or if that's a different one. Someone asked that they have many returns due customers not ordering the right size, even though it's clearly stated in the listing. If you're selling t-shirts of that, you may already be doing this, but you could have imagery with people often have those images of this size, this size. If it's possible, can you have real people like that? That'll definitely help. Acceptable conversion rate. So we talked about that one. How do you handle duties and VAT? So I presume that's for the UK. So if you're that one, if you're in the UK, there's we recommend working with a special Amazon partner company you can work with. They take care of all the duties and VAT. Basically what it is, you just need to register and you get an export straight to their system. So it's done very easy that way. Just going through to see if there's anything else we can help on. Please let me know if there's any more questions in the Q&A section. Please keep the questions coming in. I'll try to get to all of them. Okay, merchandise, it's print on demand. I haven't used any print on demand products. So I only like to comment where I'm very confident with my knowledge and experience. So I haven't worked on print on demand before on that one. It's something I can look at afterwards, but it's something I haven't directly had experience with. Just going through. So guys, just go again. What I really want to emphasize here is that you do have choices in life. You can keep going as you are, and probably take a moment to step back and think about what you want to get out of Amazon. Like, take a layer back, saying it's not like I want to have a #1 product on Amazon or be ranking on page 1 for this keyword, but what do you want to get out of life? So is it a job you want to leave? Is it a 9 to 5 you don't want to be anymore? Is it time you can have for yourself, or maybe you have a family for time away where you know that if you take a week away, your income and that will still be the same. You won't have issues. You won't be on the phone. Is it that, or is it something you want to pass on to your kids? You actually want to build an asset, build a business that you can pass down to your kid? Or could it be something that you actually want to build up, sell your business, and then choose how you spend your time? I know people who actually love selling online, no matter what they got offered, that they wouldn't sell the business. They have so much enjoyment. Whereas other people say, I'd love to sell it, grow a business, have no more financial worries in life, and take that approach. So it's really take that step back and think about, what do you want to get out of Amazon? It's not about ranking on page 1. It's not about what your conversion is, but what's that big picture? What's that goal you had in mind? There's a reason you jumped on this call today, what you want to learn, but underneath that, there's a reason that you want to be a success on Amazon. From my own experience, that success came just from spending a lot of time using systems that work, using tools that have the right data, and be able to plan that out. So that's where you want to get to. That's the direction you want to be getting to. I'm going to see if there's any more questions in the Q&A coming through. Alex, thanks for that note. I'm just going through the questions again. The time of the meeting. So if you do schedule the $1 million Amazon audit, so you do send through the information beforehand about your ASIN, and then we jump on a 30-minute call. Literally, a 30-minute call is downloading the wealth of information I have. It's about what outcome we get. How can we stop you bleeding money and really start scaling and earning on Amazon? What was my first product? What was your first product profitable? Yeah, I was very... So my background, actually, I started a product even before it was on WordPress days, going back 2000 and in the early 2000s. It was profitable when I put it on there. I was fortunate. I actually chose a product without the tool set and it worked. It was more of a fluke than anything else. But then from that, I built a system that did work. To be profitable on Amazon, when you start, it's really about having a system in place. When people talk about launching on Amazon, they say, "What do you do?" And I say, "What's your plan?" And if I don't hear a concise plan on what their strategy is, I know they're not set up for success. You need to have your KPIs. What's your review strategy? Is your product world-class listing? Are you going to stand out? What's your keyword ranking strategy? Like, remember we went back for that keyword. If you're using a launch strategy, what are the 2 keywords you want to be ranking month 1 of launching? How does your buyer intent relate to that? If I tell them that keyword, does it relate to that listing? Like, if I saw your listing, do I know that you want to rank for that keyword? That's the type of stuff you want to be putting in place. So just going through here. So guys, look, we'll be wrapping up shortly. The whole goal of today's call was really giving you value. One thing I want you to understand is that I've been in your shoes in terms of starting. I've also grown for a successful business as well on Amazon. And at the start, it can seem daunting. There's so much to learn and so much to do. But you just want to set yourself up for success. Set yourself up working with experts, working with world-class tools. You need to have a plan in place. How can you take systems that have worked, implement from yourself, and grow and scale your business? So we've got the $1 Million Audit, PPC Blueprint, our video training, the AIMS Scout toolset. So all these tools I'm showing, I didn't even show you the full suite. $399. The AI tool, keyword tracking, reverse ASIN, finding products, 1,000 products. If you're just starting out, this has got 1,000+ products. Value $19.99. Monthly trend reports, the bonuses, booming categories, reviews, how to appear on first page, $4.95. All these products, including the supplier list value at $3.99. Tell you about it's almost $5,000. Today you're going to get it for $549. Use a QR code, copy the link below. You can buy it at the top of the page. And remember, there is the payment plan, over 4 payments split using it. It's on the QR code on the right there. So I'm just going to see if there's any more questions in the chat, in the Q&A. Just one moment, just going through the chat. I'm just seeing if there's any more questions coming up. Just one, see this. Okay. So just want to make sure I get all the questions answered. Okay, so I think I've answered the question, guys. I'm going to wrap up the core webinar now. Look, I really wish you success on Amazon. I know it's possible. I've achieved it. It's something you can definitely achieve yourself. Think about working with successful people, working with world-class tools, a world-class listing, world-class tools, work with world-class people. If you're on the edge, there's a 10-day guarantee, 10-day refund guarantee. I suggest take the opportunity, learn the most you can, and I look forward to hearing your success. Thank you, guys.